Hey guys, welcome back. It's grimreaper coming at you for another video of Raid Shadows. Hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully you're looking after yourself. And hopefully you've had a very pleasant weekend, and hopefully not been too busy with the Fabian soul. Before we get into today's video, let me know down in the comments, did you go ahead and get the Fabian 3-star, 4-star, 5? Or did you just tell Plarium just to go and sit on one and you didn't care about it at all? Let me know down in the comments. Really curious. And how difficult did you find it? So anyway, let's get into today's video, right? Let's get straight into it. We're on Magic Ninja's account. We have been working on his account. I rebuilt his whole account from top to bottom with P versus P and P versus E. Now, if you guys are regular to the channel, you know that I do takeovers, and Ninja came for me into a full account takeover, including pretty much everything that he needed to get done. It was a long 3 days. It's just taken a long time to rebuild a whole account from bottom to top to bottom, etc. But it definitely was worth the wait. So we're going to talk about his Chimera today. We took him to Chimera. We got him his first ever Chimera team, and we're missing a lot of the meta champions on his account when we're talking about Chimera. So we're looking at Duchess, Eva, Rakna, Star Sage, all of them. And we was only left with two champions, Kaja or PYTHION. Now, PYTHION is not exactly what I'd call meta, but he is a budget-friendly option if you have one. He was a fusion on this fusion around about 3 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of people, especially in-game players, do have a PYTHION sitting around somewhere on their account. So if you're looking to try and secure your first ever 1K, I feel like this is a video for you. It's not a crazy team, and there is definitely some options that can replace PYTHION. I have done Ultra Nightmare 1K free to play already, which I'll put in the description of today's video, so you go check that out if you want. But I would feel that this takeover was way more friendly. I think we're only using one champion in 9-piece protection because that's what he's got, so we had to go really think outside the box. There isn't really any merciless in this video today. There is a 6-piece slayer, obviously. And then there's the savage and the basic things what most people have and don't have the gear like I do on my main account. So it was a really interesting takeover, and I thought we'd share this with you guys. Also, I did this offline, so I need Ninja to watch this to know how to run his team. So there is no reason for me to do a video on it, because he can go back to it as much as he wants and kind of reflect on it. So let's get into it then, and let's have a look at a little look at PYTHION's kit. Now, if you want to skip this, that's perfectly fine. I will drop all the timestamps down below in the description, and you go ahead and check that out. So let it get on with it. So why is PYTHION so good? Ideally, we put him in a 9-piece protection to really kind of benefit from him. We didn't have the 9-piece protection on its account, so we went high resistance. And there is a few reasons why we went high resistance, which I will talk about when we're talking about the trials and etc., and some tips and tricks with his team. So he has the area revive, which is going to be super key for today's video. He's also going to bring a heal, and the more debuffs that he removes, then that's also going to help. He also has a damage mitigation on his passive ability as well, so it helps him to take that damage a bit more as well. And he also has a block buffs for 2 turns, which can be extended by 3 turns with the right champions. Also has a mini heal on E1 as well, and it has resistance aura in that as well. So we didn't use the resistance aura, but you can use the resistance aura if that is what you need. If you can't get the stats in this for his build, go ahead and use that resistance aura. It will make your team a little bit slower, you'll lose a little bit damage, but as long as you stay alive, you should secure that 1K for Ultra Nightmare. So let's get into the video. We're going to talk about trials. We're going to talk about what we need to do between changing forms and etc., and some of the things to look out for. So let me go ahead and get the run, and then we'll start with the work. Right, so he's only got 5 trials in his team. Better than nothing. It's not perfect. So we have NEKMO, who can be replaced by a Dream Song if you did her fusion from Silver Watchers. Obviously, we have PYTHION. If you have someone like Star Sage, Duchess, Rakna, or what's her name? Raka or Eva can replace the PYTHION, and they think are upgrades to the PYTHION. Obviously, everyone has LYDIA and everyone has MARIUS. And I guess if you don't have a GNUT, bring another support role in there or some type of reset champion, like the Siege girl from the girl from the Siege, for example. She could definitely do a role. She was in the free-to-play team for the 1T Ultra Nightmare, but the gear requirements were way more insane than this team. So let's go ahead and have a look. So we're talking about blessings. We honestly don't have much available for blessings, but basically we're looking for one champion to have Brimstone, one champion to have a Tin Presence to increase the aura for the lead, which could be speed, which is most likely what you want. But you can also use accuracy and resistance as well. There'll be my 3 beneficials depending on your team. Then we also want one champion with a heavy Brimstone that helps with some trials and etc. And it does go quite far within a team. And then much cruelty as possible as well. Soul Reap doesn't do anything. That's just on there for live arena. So he can get a little bit more juice if he wants to for that. So there is the options, and there is I guess for a ninja, I could definitely come in as a GNUT replacement. Wouldn't do as much damage with no Lady Mikage, but could do something on that route as well. So when we're going to talk about the runs, so we want to talk about at the start of the run, you'll see that I'm checking some of the stats here to make sure it's done. We just started the run here, so it's worth noting here with the forms, we don't want to put many debuffs as possible. Now, when the ultimate form is going to do his strip, the more buffs he takes off you, the harder he's going to hit you. So when you're changing from ramp form to the ultimate form, he's going to do this. He gets extra turn. Try not to put many debuffs on your team as possible. Strengthen is a nice damage mitigation, and she's in a 9-piece protection, so we can go ahead and use Lydia at the start. But everything else we want to try and avoid. I guess with the increased speed as well, you can try and avoid with NEKMO. I think with the increased speed and turn meter, it's just a nice thing to do. And then we're going to start off with damage, right? So we're going to open up with Marius's A2, not his A3. We don't need that A3 at the moment. And then you'll go with the GNUT A3. You're not going to use GNUT's A2 whatsoever, so we've a perfect candidate for the Merciless set, which will be really, really useful if you can get it. We don't have it available on its account, so we just use Savage on GNUT for that reason. There's also another factors. So the reason why I don't want to use Marius's A3 right now, because obviously he's going to strip buffs and hit us harder, but also we can use this extra turn, and if cycle of Violent was a proc, then we can move into extra turn. And also if he's in at 9-piece Slayer, sorry, 9-piece Merciless, that could be really, really useful. I think the best build for Marius, where we're talking about Chimera, is 9-piece Merciless. That's what I run on my main account. If you can't get 9-piece, definitely go to 6 and do the same. Use that A3 as extra turn to try and proc Merciless cooldown, so you can go back-to-back newts as well. It's a very good tip to have. So that is one thing we want to talk about when we're talking about resets. PYTHION is a high resist, so he will resist the A3 from this, and he will resist the PYTHION, the Viper form as well, as long as he doesn't steal the accuracy up from Marius. This run does go a bit south, like halfway through, but we saved it and revived the whole team, and was able to probably get some more damage. I think it will get 130 from all of this. So let's have a look at trials then. We'll talk about the first one in the round form. Now this team can be auto as well, and I would only do the trials and when he's swiping between the forms on manually, so you can make sure you can control the debuffs on the boss, and you want to try and get a decreased attack as well when he does his abilities. So ideally he's going to switch into the form right now. There's only one trial on the round form right now that we're trying to do. He can try and do probably 2 more trials on this if he wants, but I think it'll be a little bit stressful, so I just want him to learn the basics. So we want this green bar to go onto NEKMO, which is going to be the person with the lowest critical damage. So it's very important to make sure that PYTHION is a slightly higher in critical damage. I think it was 2 higher, which is fine. And then we can go ahead and revive. We're just going to press the A1 there because he's going to reflect it back anyway. And then with the damage dealers, we're not going to do any of the nukes because we don't want to kill our team or kill our champions. You can see there he reflects quite a bit back already. So that's one thing that we want to try and avoid. And then the main trial on this one is playing accuracy up from the Marius's A3 and then trying to land many debuffs on the boss as possible within 3 turns, and we can go ahead and get our first trial. We want to try and get this off the bat straight away so we can get the multiplier. If he fails to get this, it's just better to reset and go again, because I wouldn't want to leave the multiplier towards the end of the run. It would hurt the damage for Chimera Clash too much. So we're talking about that. You'll see here we have the trial, which is here, which is super nice. That is the one that he's going to aim for his team. When we're talking about trials, if we can go back and we'll have a look at the trials, and I'll see on what other ones he can do as well. It stopped playing for some reason. Okay. So when we're talking about trials, I think he could potentially do the Fear one, and unfortunately, because we don't have a Duchess or Eva or Star Sage, he won't be able to pull off this Veil one. But I feel like he could do this one if he wanted to, which is one way of doing it. Then we're gonna skip all the way to the line form. He doesn't have critical rate or critical damage buff on the enemies on his team, so we can't use it. For my account, I use Cardio for that. So when we're switching from the Ram form, you'll see here it's going to switch at the moment. We basically want to avoid to put any debuffs, any buffs on our champions, so we don't get hit so hard, because the more buffs that he strips, the harder you're going to hit us. So when he'll move into this, he'll do his extra turn. At the moment, we've got 2 buffs, which is fine. PYTHION has high resistance, so we should resist the boss, so you shouldn't. It should help with reducing damage out as well. So you can see they actually did remove the debuff off us, so it's pretty useful. But because we only had like 2 buffs, we didn't really take any damage. It would come from like a nuke to a pussycat hit rate, I guess is the polite way of doing it, of saying it. So you press auto, then we're going to go into the lion form. Now there's 2 trials that we can do on the lion form, which is going to be quite nice. We will see it kick in shortly. One of them will be the increased defense, doing so much damage and the increased defense with so many debuffs and buffs on the enemy, which Marius again will secure. So you can see here we have the leech coming in from the NEKMO, which is going to be really, really useful. We did get close to this one, to be honest, and this is probably the only time where you might want to try and play the GNUT counterattack, so maybe you can get some extra hits in and try and get the 1.5, but you're going to get a rare gemstone. So for me, it was not really what I wanted to focus on. I wanted just to focus on much damage as possible. I think you're not going to lose sleep about that one. This one was epic materials, so it's really nice to get, and then Marius does give this so that's the 2 trials that we secure here, which you'll see here when we click onto it. We should secure both trials right now, so you can see the increased defense on everyone. There goes the 3 trials, which is pretty nice. I believe I don't click on it potentially, and yeah, make it work from there. And then we just wait overall. Okay, so we know what debuffs we got there. I guess I don't show it in the video, unfortunately. And then the trials, the next one will come from Lydia's A3. And we're talking about the decreased attack, which is going to be on NEKMO. And then NEKMO's A3 will give us increased speed to be able to complete these 2. And then again, you want to try and complete all these trials before you face the bomb again, because of your your clash points from Chimera. So that is the way to kind of do. I guess the main thing to kind of worry about with the Viper form is when he's going to switch from, which you can see here, you can see by the turns here when you're going to switch to Viper form, right? So you can see here, we're not going to put block buffs or anything like that. We really don't want the Viper form to get like block buffs. If he gets 1 or 2 buffs like increased speed, increased accuracy, you'll generally be fine as long as you kind of do what I will kind of recommend you to do. So for example, he's going to do this here. You just want to try and avoid to do extra turns or anything like that. GNUT, for example, has like a built-in heal, so you can go ahead and just do the nuke to increase that. But you can also probably like just wait if you wanted to, for sure. So I didn't use the Marius extra turn there to move into the nuke, because when we didn't have the defense down and weaken from Lydia, and I don't want to waste a nuke because we're not using like Merciless or anything like that to get back round quickly. And also I don't want to take the extra turn for the poisons to do more damage. And I know that we can cleanse with our PYTHION, which basically covers the whole boss. Now, if you wanted to, you just do the block type of skill straight away. It's on cooldown, so you could go to do the defense down and weaken, which is perfectly fine. As long as you got block buffs, he can't do his shenanigans on his A2. But use the E3 is one you want to be careful of, which you can lock out with Lydia's block type of skill. So depending on which way you want to play it, if you do make a mistake and don't lock it down, this ability, then you want to make sure you keep it. So again, make sure you do the manual from the main form into this to make sure that this is ready straight off the bat so you can deal with the Viper form. And if you do that correctly with Lydia, like the Viper form shouldn't be a problem really overall. So that is pretty much the way to go with that. And I guess that's it for all the trials. Like we'll see the trials kick in a second. And then like that's basically the 5 trials. That is the 1 key. And it's pretty simple from there. If he does go ahead and put any debuffs on the A1, that's perfectly fine. We do want a block type of skill here. So you can see here we're missing the block type of skill, but I didn't put any like debuffs or anything on us, like block type of skill, etc. And he will do the A3 shortly. So I think we do the A1, which is I think is why we was taking so long on this, because I was thinking about it. Yeah, so I'll do the A1 because I didn't want to risk it. I didn't know if Lydia was on cooldown or not with the A3, so that's just the way we just adapted. And lucky we didn't, because she was on cooldown. It must have got resisted or something like that. So overall, you can see that we're perfectly fine. He does still a few debuffs, but everything's fine. Like we get the A3 off, etc. to secure that. So let me go ahead and play this run on full auto. You guys can enjoy the music, and then we'll see the damage, and then we'll talk about all the champion builds, and then we'll talk about the better builds in future that Ninja can do to improve his team overall. But at the moment, he's got his 1 key. He's very, very happy with that. And yeah, so let me go into it, and then we will turn it around from there.
In the shadows he arises, silent and cold, a legend of power, a story untold. Grim Reaper, the name that they fear, dominating the arena year after year. In Raidshadowlegends, he makes his mark, a warrior of darkness, igniting the spark. With every swipe, the enemies fall. No one escapes his relentless call. Arena, Grim takes the control, a force of nature. He won't back down his account, a fortress of endless might. The best account takeovers, he fixes in the night. No need to grind, no need to wait. Grim's ascendant, sealed his fate, a legend forged in the heat of the game. With each victory they whisper his name. Grim Reaper, his power untold, a king of the arena, fearless and bold. Enemies quake when they see his rise, for Grim's the storm that no one denies. In Raidshadowlegends, he stands alone, the Reaper's grit carved in stone. Yo! Grim Reaper, the name that they fear, dominating the arena year after year. In Raidshadowlegends, he makes his mark, a warrior of darkness, igniting the spark. With every swipe, the enemies fall. No one escapes his relentless call. In the live arena, Grim takes the control, a force of nature. He won't back down his account, a fortress of endless might. The best account takeovers, he fixes in the night. No need to grind, no need to wait. Grim's ascended, sealed his fate, a legend forged in the heat of the game. With each victory they whisper his name. Grim Reaper, his power untold, a king of the arena, fearless and bold. Enemies quake when they see his rise, for Grim's the storm that no one denies. In Raidshadowlegends, he stands alone, the Reaper's grit carved in stone. Yo! Grim Reaper, his power untold, a king of the arena, fearless and bold. Yo!
Okay, cool. So you can see that we made some mistakes in there. It wasn't a perfect run. We got some good damage coming in overall, which is great to see. And it definitely damage could be improved way more. And we're doing some fairly good numbers as well. I think 130 is definitely a way to go. There is some questions over other rotations like next month and the month after, but I feel like you will be fine. We'll probably just need to change up the gear to be like Affinity Breaker on NEKMO, for example, instead of the Relentless build that we're doing. So let me go ahead and show you all the builds. Now we'll start off with the man that we're showcasing for today in the video, which will be the PYTHION. Now the PYTHION's coming in a 4-piece in a 4-piece regeneration set, which is the way to go. Again, we haven't got 9-piece protection, and generally the 9-piece protection is what we're looking to do. We don't probably need to take the resistance, which means you can focus more on survivability and probably more speed as well to get Barons. So you can see that the stats here are not exactly amazing. The resistance is coming in at 491. We do try and get our resistance towards 500 if you can. But as you can see, it was perfectly fine. Then we got speed of 274. Then we have the 19% speed aura, which makes him around about 295 overall with that 19 speed aura. Then we have the defense and HP, which is fairly fine. And again, as long as you do your debuffs, you will be fine. So nothing too special. We do have a blood shield accessory on us because we're trying to benefit from the emergency heal. Blessing is also what we are using. So we got miracle heal. We should be using the, was it the one that emergency heal, which is the one we wanted. Where is emergency heal? Okay, this is the one I wanted. This is the one we was meant to use, so it also give him a bit more healing overall. That's why we put the blood shield on him there, just so it's FYI. Then we have Book of Journals to increase the healing. It won't do anything with Termita. It doesn't do anything with Termita, but it will help increase the healing, which is pretty nice. It's only level 9 as well, so level 12, which is pretty easy. Then these are the masteries coming in with high resistance. Again, you can go stuff like Tiny Intervention or War Master if you are using a 9-piece protection. If you can go 9-piece protection with more speed, more survivability, and the same resistance, that is probably his best build and the way to go for him. Then we're going to talk about NEKMO again. So NEKMO's masteries are pretty average. You can see here there's nothing going on. These are for his arena. Are these the best masteries? No, for sure. You definitely want to be coming down here as well. We can see here the gems are not exactly amazingly stacked, so I do try and avoid to reset unless I need to. Blessing will be the cruelty for me, or brimstone or timid presence, depending on the rest of your team's blessings as well. Then for the relic, again, we're going in the Book of Journals because he will increase his Termita on his A3 as well, which is great for the whole team. And then we have a 4-piece Relentless. Now, I've seen a lot of people go 4-piece Merciless, 4-piece Relentless. Some people say that's the best build. I personally generally like a 4-piece Reflex, triple refresh, and then a impulse set from the live arena, which is what mine is in. I've tested him in Relentless, I've tested him in Reflex, I've tested him in Merciless, I've tested him in Relentless and Merciless on my account. So I've generally done all the builds that people would suggest. I do have quite a bit of refresh, and I can guarantee you that for me, in my personal opinion, that is what we are what we would like to see. Again, on this build, we're looking at the defense, we're looking at the HP, we're looking at the speed, and then we're looking at the accuracy requirements of 500 to be the general overall what we're looking for. On my build, again, you'll see 100% critical rate and etc. My account is way more into the end game than Ninja's for sure, and my gear overall is also better quality as well. So I'm able to do a bit more on my account. So we're going to come in with accuracy chest, banner. You can also take a HP or defense and then go vice versa via the chest as well, which will generally help you. Then you're going to come in with like accuracy resistance, accuracy and defense and HP along the substats. And we've got speed, accuracy, and defense that we're looking for. We're also looking for HP as well for damage mitigation purposes. And you can see that a bit of this gear is dust and oiled. We are using the best gear on his account. and you should be for this general content, because it's quite difficult, and I was pulling my hair out on this takeover for a while as well. Let's talk about Lydia then. Lydia is in a 9-piece 9-piece protection. Does she need it? No. Does it make it nicer? Yes. You can probably try Ferald as well. That would be perfectly fine as well. Again, we're focusing on the accuracy. I would like to see a bit more accuracy on her, but again, it was a bit more limited. So the accuracy is coming in at 477. I would like to see 500 accuracy, but again, we do have accuracy up in the team. And I would like to see a bit more speed. So mine is similar to this, 100% critical rate and 325 speed on my account. This one's only 299. And then again, defense and HP is the way to go. Again, you can kind of see what's going on here, and small survivability can be added if needed to. We're using gold elixir because she's struggling to stay alive, so I just added this to add a little bit of healing into a kit as well, instead of going regen, which I didn't really want to do, and we didn't have it as well. And then for me, for blessings would be the cruelty to kind of help your team. And then again, these are the masteries. Ideally in the future, if ninja can change the accuracy up, the eagle of accuracy, and go with war master, this would actually increase his damage probably by like 5 to 10 million overall, which might help him on the affinities that are not so easy for him in the future with his team. Will it still one key? Most likely it will. Anyway, let's look at the nuts and the bolts and the Mariuses on this account. So you can see here, people, let's talk about blessing. People would normally take cruelty or anything like that for GNUT. It is worth noting that cruelty doesn't work with the A3. It doesn't stack or anything like that. It works as its own multiplier, so it doesn't affect GNUT's A3, but it still does help Marius overall to do more damage. So for me, I would probably go more like Phantom Touch or something like that, generally for like Fire Knight or something like that, which would be a useful blessing and elsewhere. But Brimstone is also cool to have for this. For the relic, we just went with Mafia Tang. I can't pronounce it, but basically a rare relic. It increases damage a little bit with extra cruel damage as well, which is pretty nice. If you can get the cat gaze, that would be a massive upgrade for the nut. And then you can see here we have a 4-piece relentless, a 4-piece savage set. We're focusing on speed at 250. We will want to make sure there's 100% crit rate here, which is a bit interesting because I put this into the optimizer, so I'm not too sure what's happened here. I guess potentially we'll rework this tomorrow, which is a bit interesting, but either way, it's a pretty nice build. Let me just make sure he's got the correct build on, and it's not missing any. Oh, there we are. So he was missing the Chimera setting. So he has, this is the proper stats. We got 289 critical damage there, and then we have 239 speed. Now we want everyone to be 250 minimum on Ultra Nightmare, so take that in. We don't care about accuracy at all. I knew I had 100% critical rate because I really don't like building under that. Good defense, and then it's good HP as well. So you can see we're using defense, critical damage with the Slayer piece, which is where the extra 5% critical rate is. And then he's got his Sun Devil accessories there, so we will want to ignore that. And then we will look at the masteries. Again, there's no masteries there, which is great news. That means it is more damage for the team, so we need to kind of sort that out to get a bit more damage. Then we have the stats here as well coming in the Marius. Now these are aimed at live arena. These are like what I generally like to take for this. Again, we didn't have many gems. There is like 1 or 2 masteries that I would generally like to take, like Shield Breaker, etc. for like arena, but it doesn't do anything for Chimera, so it's one of the ones. Soul Reap for that. And then we have the Cat Gaze relic coming in with the stuff here as well. These are the gemstones that we're using. And then we have Slayer. Now I do think that a 6-piece Merciless is way better than Slayer personally. I think every content creator probably has its own experience, and that is perfectly fine. This is what my personal opinion is. So when we're looking at these stats, we're looking at good defense, critical rate, 100% critical rate, which is really needed. Again, 250 is what we needed. If you could get a bit more accuracy in the future, that would be generally would be great for the strip. Not really required, but it will be useful. Obviously, good critical damage and good HP as well. So that is it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoy this, and hopefully yeah, just generally hopefully you enjoy this, and hopefully this will encourage you guys to go ahead and try out Ultra Nightmare Chimera as well. It was a little bit difficult, but we got them over the line, and now he's sitting with a nice juicy bonus on for Ultra Nightmare, so he'll be pretty happy about that. He's also moving up into Tag Team Arena as well. So that is it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoy this, and you know, again, Ninja, enjoy your takeover and etc. I think there's a lot of work to still be done, and that's it for today's video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I've been Grim. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.